moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege. I really ran out of breath right there. Supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Bobby Gusa, and our admin, Foxy, as we are here for the second half of the penultimate day of Division 3 in Season 1. That is right, the second half of the 5th day is live, and it is going live with Sage Empire taking on Protest Esports on the map of Clubhouse, and it will be coming up to your screens in just a quick moment, ladies and gentlemen, as Protest Esports, after their insane performance against Nevermind Esports earlier today, have nearly secured themselves the... Excuse me. Once again, I had to take a pause. The promotion to Division 2, while Sage Empire, not so much. They have only won 1 game out of 4, and they need to try and win some more, at least to stay in Division 3. They don't want to get relegated. No one does, because you'll be fighting back up from the qualifiers in that case. And Sage, even in the last match that we saw them against Team Heat, could not continue to hold on. They took the lead, and then they lost it, and lost to Team Heat in total. With all that being said, it is already the ban phase, as Nomad Maverick has already been banned from the attacker side, and then we are going to see the Wamai ban come in from the side of the defense as well. Interestingly enough, no Thatcher ban today, so I don't think a Kaid ban will come in either, seeing as Thatcher can counter him and there's no real need to take him out of the loop. And instead, we will see yet another Melusi ban. This is interesting right now. No Thatcher bans in, what has it been, 3 games today? Okay, 1 Thatcher ban in 3 games, which is already a much better unban rate for Thatcher than he normally sees. Normally, he's just banned throughout the day. Today, he is in play for 2 back-to-back games, so this should be pretty interesting. Speaking of which, let's have a look at both of the rosters that are here in the lobby for us today. One side, we've got from the side of Sage Empire, Electric, Enrico, Montrosky, Flying Death, and Yala. And from the side of Protest Esports, we've got It's Rux, Not Sexy K, Roximo Killer, Shinigami, and Crosspoint, the team that pulled off a 7-1 earlier today.
He enters, he's going to wait for 2 seconds. There you go, push comes in from him. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to find any attackers who were apparently spawned in construction, so he decides to just reinforce and fall back. With that, 2 reinforcements being used on the jacuzzi wall. With that, I believe he's just going to hold on the logistics to make sure that he'll be able to hold on towards the kitchen hatch as best as possible. But you do have Crosspoint already using one of his impact nade, and he's going to use one more to give lines of sight so that the attacker should have a lot of problems dealing with those angles. We do see Rux with the alibi, those Prisma's holograms, to provide some fake intel for the attackers to not give up any of the position that alibi is, as we see Yala entering in towards the gym, pushing towards the hallway. He still needs to be careful that there is 2 players, one alibi nearer to the toilets. One wall bang could be able to get the kill, but unfortunately Yala doesn't have that information just yet. The melee will be able to, the drone will be able to spot one, and the confirmation comes in. Yala with the first frag, eliminating Not Sexy K. With that, Sage Empire are in a manpower advantage. Alibi, she is still in the 2nd floor bedroom, thinking of going against a fight to the Yala, but unfortunately she's just going to be able to drone out, figure out what kind of positions that they're in. Yep, there you go. The the spawn, the communications will come in, but won't be able to get the perfect kill. Alibi will be able to eliminate the Ash, making it a 4v4 situation. The refrag will come in, and with that, a lot of time being taken outright on the side of the attackers here. We only have 1.15 seconds as Rux with the MX4. He's going to be able to take out yet another one. Enrico goes down. The hard breach of the Hibana, I believe she did do her job by using those Excalibur spells to open up at least the hatches of stock, bar, or kitchen, so that there'll be... Yes, he does! A first round ends up with a bang, as Rux, the MX4 Storm, will be able to get the ace, as we do see them winning round 1 on Basement Church. As we take a look at it, an ACT Fibernet instant replay Even with Yala eliminating the Vigil who was in towards the construction, Yala played it perfectly well, eliminating two of those players. One who was apparently pushing in from the 90s always. Second, reposition back to the logistics rooms, and knowing that she wouldn't win on that gunfight, she decides to drop down from the hatch, following it up with all of those kills. As we proceed to round two, second floor CCTV is going to be the site with a six pick coming in as Shinigami will be switched from the Rook to the Bandit.
Protest Esports starting out strong once again on a different kind of defender-sided map today, ladies and gentlemen, as they will take round one of the back of Rux with a beautiful ace to start things off. What a play from the man, and what a beginning for Protest Esports tonight. And like I said, they are looking to get into Division 2, and they're looking to secure themselves at the top spot. If they do win this game, then they will be one step closer to achieving that second part, because having already won the game earlier today, they have gone from having 12 points to 15 points, matching Vanquished Paradox Gaming and potentially even beating them in their round conversion rate, which means they have already gone up to second and VPG are down to third. And unless VPG are able to pull out a big game tonight, they move on with this game. Sexy K, he's been spotted on the roam outside towards Strip Club and Changing Room. And he's going to have Yala closing in this position. He's second now, but he's going to find him instead. Beautiful shot to find the Ash, starting things off in his favor. And Yala will fall. Sage Empire have lost their first in a very unfortunate manner, as the Valkyrie still being droned out isn't going to get picked off, not quite yet. There's a couple of operators approaching Sexy K, mind you, one from the change room that he was in just now, and one from the hallway outside. The drones have cornered him here, and now he's got to survive at all costs, and he's going to find one. Will he find two? He does! Out of nowhere with the double peak, Sexy K has just torn through the attacking team, Sage Empire. There was no utility used. They could have dazed him, stunned him, and then made the push happen, but they decided not to. No utility used, nothing, only droning, and an attempt at frag power does not work out, as though he will finally fall. Tried to get cheeky with the kill outside, and he actually did trade against Flying Death. That's a 4K for the Valkyrie, and Montrosky's gonna find one. It's now 1v3, and he's gonna go down, pushing into construction. What a couple of rounds to start off for the side of Protest Esports. What are we watching, ladies and gentlemen? Protest are not stopping their train, as we will have that in the instant replay. This Sexy K plays inside of Strip Club and the Lockers hallway. Oh, those three headshots were absolutely beautiful. Round three will commence with the score being 2-0, going to second floor gym bedroom.
Well, first it was Shinigami making the ace on map Oregon, and then second we do see Rux in round one playing as the alibi, and then out of nowhere, not Sexy K was almost on a roll there, ladies and gentlemen. He was about to get the ace, but unfortunately he did get traded back from the Thermite, but still Protest Esports dominating their opponents in the map Clubhouse, as they have no problems dealing with the Sage Empire line of attack. As we proceed to round three, we do see them picking second floor gym to be their site, with Crosspoint switching up to the Legion. I believe at that moment he picked as the castle, and then just decided to go for a six pick to just use as the trap operator instead. I mean, I do know why you would pick as the Legion, because one of those Legion Go mines will be able to, halt the push coming in from the attackers. Because, each and every time if the attackers get stung with the Legion Go mine, it has a high, the attackers will be forced to take out of the Legion Go mines, or else they are not allowed to sprint. So hopefully with that, and also giving some information towards the defenders, showing that what kind of push will be able to come in. We'll see how well it's going to turn out for them. As round three action phase will commence, we do see Valkyrie prepping up for a spawn peek right from the tunnel wall, just waiting for the opponent to apparently try to open up the walls of Jacuzzi. But unfortunately, with the lack of information, not 60k needs to be careful from from behind, but hopefully to make sure that the attackers, especially the the roam hunters, Yala and Edrico won't be able to converge into the location and hopefully go for that elimination. We do see two drones pushing in from the garage catwalk, hoping to find some information here, as we do see Flying Dead taking quite a lot of damage from the bandit drones. But looks like that the exothermic charge will succeed opening up the jacuzzi wall. We do see a lot of information gathered here as Shingami playing also very close on towards the gym will be able to detect where he is, and the defenders and the attackers really need to be careful. With Shinigami rotating back towards the bedroom and most probably in the toilets to make sure that he'll be able to hold an angle from that specific position. You do see Rux with the deployable shield on the jacuzzi hallway. Shingami, he's just thinking of going aggressive here. He might be able to find Flying Death, but since he is looking after the drone and taken out, it would be best for him to not go that aggressive. We do see Hibana using her Excaro spells to open up the CCTV walls as they try to enter towards the cache room or construction. And quite possibly, there is a particular operator who's holding on towards the cache, and that would be the Legion, I believe. With the ADSs and deployable shield, he can be safe, but when that push comes in from the attackers, he need to be ready for it. Well, not 60K is still in the tunnel wall. Even with the walls being open and have no information, it would be wise for him to just fall back. And looks like he will evidently do that by pushing. He's just going to flank back towards on the blue stairs, with a lot of time being taken out from Sage Empire. Now, it's quite surprising. We don't able to see any bodies being dropped, but a little bit of HP being decreased. Flying Dead sees the head of a particular player, won't be able to get the connect as one of the C4s would come in, taking damage to Edrico. As we proceed to the 35 seconds time, it's going to be a matter of time where Sage Empire decides to go for the push. Roximo Killer won't be able to find. He'll be able to find one, and Crossbutton on the other hand eliminates Flying Death in the near 25 seconds. Protest Esports are definitely not giving that up easily with the diffuser being dropped on the side of construction. Looks like Shingami will be able to find Electric, but Yala is still here to give some hope for their team as he eliminates Rux, but not 60K is still on a roll, eliminating Edrico. It all goes down to Yala in a 1v4, 1v5 situation. Actually, it was a 1v4 situation, but Shinigami will be able to eliminate it. Round 3, second floor gym goes to the favor of Protest Esports. Well, that was quite an impressive hold coming in from Protest Esports, and also Sage Empire. They even had some good, you know, good hardware. They even did get their job done. They did open up the walls in Jacuzzi. They even opened up the CCTV walls so that they can at least try to push in, gain control, and hopefully be able to eliminate those players one by one. And the thing about Protest Esports is that I believe there was one particular player who was holding in from from the cash room, knowing that there is push coming in from the attackers, decides to just fall back, and it worked out very well. With that, three defending rounds goes to the favor of Protest Esports as we proceed to round 4. Basement Church is going to be the side. Will we see Sage Empire win at least one round on defense, or will it be a flawless victory?
I mean, a flawless victory is still a ways away. Protest Esports, the rate they're going, if they want to have a flawless victory, that's 4 more rounds of Siege that they have to play at the minimum, the bare minimum, that is, of course, that they will be allowed to not get away with. Because again, knowing Sage Empire, sure, they may not have had the best time in the world when it comes to Division 3 this season, ladies and gentlemen. They can still pull off a couple of very interesting games. They have done that before. Again, just harkening back to the game they had against Team Heat, they took the early lead. SE were the ones to take the early lead, and then Team Heat were forced to sort of pull themselves up and bring it back. Now, while that, speaks volumes of Team Heat's own coordination and strategic strengths, it also kind of speaks to Sage Empire just in general, knowing what they need to do, but not having something. They're lacking something. Sometimes it's coordination, sometimes it's intel, sometimes it's just utility outside of the bare essentials. And that is what we've seen from them time and time again. Protest Esports have thoroughly impressed us today so far, especially in the last round. Sage Empire couldn't get those early kills. It was Protest through and through, and even Yala, after getting one, he could only do so much caught in a 1v everyone situation. Right now, speaking of Yala, he's going to be watching a long angle. As Enrico's finally going to shut down Rux. That's an early kill that Sage Empire desperately needed. And there goes Sexy K, eliminated by Monchowski. a couple of very important kills. But here's one Roximo killer to refrag onto Rodrigo. Is going to find the Zofia, take him out of the board. But that's one. There's still 4 more remaining. And Protoss Esports have been put up against the wall right now, seeing as with a minute 40 remaining, they are down 2 people. And they didn't need those unnecessary, roam kills. Something could be said about being outplayed, for sure. Potentially, we didn't quite get to see how Rux and Sexicate were taken out. Of course, Rux we saw on Garage Catwalk, getting taken out by a beautiful shot by Edrico, admittedly speaking. Sexicate, on the other hand, we didn't quite see him, how he died outside of that he was in CCTV. So, he could have just been outplayed, maybe droned out and pushed in from the side of Sage Empire. Even then, Sage Empire, they really needed those kills. Protoss Esports did not need those bodies to be dropped. A minute remains now, and slowly but surely, Sage Empire are looking to get their breaches done. They're looking to establish vertical dominance and then push into sight. Make the execute happen. Yala, finding a little bit of adversity from the church door in the hallway. He's going to be alive, more than alive for that matter, as he's going to see a goo mine right in front of him. Someone that didn't hit his shin on the way in, but that doesn't matter as more shots are being fired in his general direction. They really want him to be shut down, Yala specifically from the looks of it, because they are peeking him, that is Protoss Esports, very, very hard right now. Shinigami trying to fire back with the SMG-11 as Crosspoint is going to dodge one flashbang. There's a couple more coming his way, but that angle is being watched long, and Roximo Killer's here with a double to find one, and it's now a 3v3 equalized, but he will go down. That Pico doesn't work twice, unfortunately, as bodies are going to drop. The hard breach is in, and it's all down to the last man standing. Shinigami, where is he? Inside of Arsenal? No, he's in the hallway trying to find the planter. The drones have spotted him. The Ash needs to come around quickly. Will she? Not in time. Yala will get the kill, as Shinigami will be the one to fall, as Sage Empire will finally put a round on board. Round 4 goes to them on Basement Church. Beautifully done attack after taking those early bodies, as the score will be 3-1, still in favor of Protoss Esports' defense, but that lead, of course, has just been dented by 1 round.
A beautiful attack coming in from Sage Empire, and also Yala with a beautiful use of the Ash breaching charges to take out the deployable shield, forcing the smoke to fall back. And although we did see Roximo Killer, who was playing as the Jaeger, decided to make a peek hole right from the blue bunker. Not from the blue bunker, from the blue room, eliminating one who decides to just fall down from the hatches of the bar. Did get one, but it doesn't work twice with an impressive refrag coming in from the Thermite. Decides to go for the plant on Church, and it worked out well for them. As we proceed to round 5, second floor CCTV is going to be the side instead of being on Basement Church. And with that, we do see some little bit changes from the operator's pick. Maybe not. Actually, yeah, we do actually see Shinigami playing as the bandit, and Electric still playing as the Thatcher. It opening up the walls shouldn't be that difficult for the attackers, especially on CCTV. But they do have to worry about the bandit, being near towards the CCTV, trying to go for a trick to make sure they can be able to eliminate some of the hard breach charges. We do see Rux and Not Sexy Kid decides to do the roaming game. One in the blue stairs, and the second apparently might be in the main stairs, hopefully on the Arsenal room or in the church instead. Yala, he's definitely not wasting any time as he starts pushing in towards the strip club. Hopefully he'll be able to get some good amount of information, even with the drones or not. He's just going to hold an angle. He has, the drone was coming in from his teammates. When that information is relayed, they can be able to push in, finding what kind of position that the defenders are going to be in. They'll be able to box them and hopefully eliminate it. Well, Rux still deciding to hold a specific room that would be on the blue stairs, as we do see Crosspoint with the MP5K in hand, I believe. I mean, if you are playing in that garage spot, most of the time you do see them using the MP5K rather than using the shotgun, because most of the time the shotguns are mainly used near the site, and they mainly just camp on the entranceway of the door instead, so they'll be having the high advantage if the attackers try to push in from the execute phase. So with him, I believe him using, I mean, that maybe he has an MP5K so that he'll be able to open it. Maybe, who knows? Maybe not. We do see Flying Death using his exothermic charge to open up CCTV. Shouldn't be much of a problem as the Thermite was as the Thatcher was there to use his EMP to disable the bandit charges. The bandit will be there to take out the drones in which it will be relayed from the attackers. And yep, that's as I was talking about, the MP5K will be in hand from Crosspoint. He's going to make sure that they don't that the attackers won't have control of the garage catwalk. As we do see the first frag comes in, Edrico eliminating Shinigami, an important operator, as the bandit will go down, but still his bandit charges is still in effect, especially from the construction. We do see the Hibana Sicario spell is being used, will be able to open, as Edrico will be able to relay the information saying that there is two roamers in the main stage and they need to be pretty cautious about it. Monstrosky eliminating Crossbird will be able to give them the opportunity, making it a 5v3 as the push comes in from the Ash, wins the gunfight. Yala is definitely not wasting any time as he eliminates Roximo Killer, and Sexy K goes down indeed. The Thatcher will be there to make sure the flank doesn't come out as Sage Empire will win round 5, a flawless win to them as they will succeed attacking in second floor CCTV room. As we proceed to round 6, Sage Empire in a 2-3. Maybe we might be able to see an equalizer coming in the first half.
For sure, Sage Empire are looking a lot better against Protest Esports, than in the earlier game. Never mind, Esports did. Sage are not willing to give up, and they are not about to trip over their own shoes right now, ladies and gentlemen, as it is a 3-2, and just like Baba said, they are one step closer to equalizing right here, right now. The way Sage Empire is going, they have established momentum and they have halted Protest's momentum, but things can change within a second, within a heartbeat, and that is, of course, the beauty of Rainbow Six Siege. With all of that being said, we're seeing an Ella in play from Sexy K this time around. Valkyrie has been swapped out, and the Polish defender, one of the more oppressive defenders in her earlier stages, has been brought into play as well. I'm interested to see what Sexy is going to be pulling out with the Ella this time around, and that's a deployable shield already. But I digress, deployable shields are overrated anyway. That's just my opinion. Thank you very much. Anyway, coming back to the point at hand. Action phase will be going live right here as the Sage Empire have another crack at making this defender-sided map and, taking it and making the best of it, shall we say. Because if they manage to take 3 rounds and equalize on a defender-sided map while they are on the attack, that is huge right there. And now, I know we say this a lot that, Clubhouse is a defender-sided map, taking wins on attack isn't exactly hard, and teams seem to do it time and time again, but that just speaks to how good these teams are, how good these players are, and just the fact that they can take a defender-sided map and a good defensive team and beat them at their own game. That is what really matters here, and that is what Sage Empire have done for 2 rounds in a row. The rate this is going, we could have a big turnaround on our hands if, and only if, Sage Empire continue the way that they have been playing for these last couple rounds. Rux, he has no idea he's being spotted right now thanks to the Ping 2.0 system. I think he will still hear some sort of audio. I doubt that, though, as he has been spotted. He might get wall-banged any second. Now, they know he's rotated out of the bathroom, and there's somebody inside of bar, and he won't see the head, as Yala will take his head clean off. Rux is down, and that's a big drop. The Jaeger falls early, and once again, Protest have lost an early kill. That is something they need to somehow avoid. And now, sure, yellow ping makes it a little more difficult to avoid getting picked off like that. But even then, standing inside a bathroom in first floor, not exactly the most advisable thing to do. Crossbite is going to come around and lounge. I think the drone may have seen him if there's somebody on that, but there nobody is. Yala somehow isn't dead there, but he will finally go down. Unfortunately, the Ash has been taken care of, and Crosspoint refrags for the kill his teammate earlier. Hibana's Excaris will still go off as it was placed between both the walls right there. One strip of those is going to finally make a little dent in the wall as on the other side, CCTV's main wall has been opened up, but nobody seems to be pushing through there. As 4 of the attackers have rerouted towards the western end of the map. CCTV's window outside on the balcony. Adrico's inside of construction. I don't know where the fourth one is, but we'll see him soon enough. Flying Death is going to rotate back to the CT main breach, but he's going to get taken out for his trouble as Sexy K goes out with the Scorpion to find a big, big drop indeed. The Thermite falls, and the Bandit barely avoids getting taken out himself and getting blinded by that flashbang. Ibana herself has been blinded by her own flashbang, so he's gonna have to be careful right there. But oh, beautiful shot by Electric. He's gonna find a head. Will he find two? Not quite yet. Erika's coming in for a bit of a push right now. Is he gonna find the smoke? No, he's not. He's gonna lose that gunfight. His bodies are starting to drop all over the place. And the shotgun comes out somehow. While Sexy K will find Montrosky. He and Electric drop in quick succession as, against all odds, Protest Esports will hold second floor CCTV on round 6. As we'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. Beautifully held by Protest Esports. They knew that going for early kills, early aggression against Sage is not going to work out because that's a trick that's been done to death, and Sage Empire are more than weary of it. So what should we do? Let's have one guy out there, maybe a two, and then as soon as the first kill is confirmed, retreat back to site and hold as much as we can. They did that very well, as it is now 4-2 in their favor going into round 7 roll swap.
Yeah, well, you said it, Jack. Round 7 roll swap. The site will be second floor CCTV for Sage Empire because they'll be the one who's defending as the 6 pick comes in as the Ying gets shifted to the Capitao. And with that, the prep phase will be intact. We do see an interesting choice of operator picks from Protest Esports. Capitao from Not Sexy K, Shinigami will be playing as the Jackal. He'll be able to track down some of the roams on the side of Sage Empire, especially the Vigil, in which he needs to make those aggressive plays. Hopefully, we might be able to see some runouts coming in from the Vigil or a spawn pick right from the windows of... actually, yeah, from the windows of the main stairs. Maybe not, but we'll see what's going to happen as we do see the defenders using each and every utilities at their disposal. First to reinforce the walls, use bandit charges to place on a specific set of walls in which the attackers won't be able to take it out. And just like that, when the timer goes down to 0, the action phase will commence. We do see Edrico playing as the Maestro. Those evil eye cams would prove to be quite efficient when it comes to detecting the players as well as eliminating them with the use of those lasers. One being used in the garage catwalk, and second of the evil eye cams being placed on the cash room, as we do see one of the Excaros players being used to make an angle right from the garage wall, hopefully to get an angle right from the windows if they do see a bandit trying to trick the wall. We do see a good amount of informations being relayed that there is one of the specific operators who is apparently holding in on the garage, and I believe that would be the Vigil, but looks like he won't be there as he decides to just rotate back to maybe on the blue stairs instead. Second isothermic charges being used to make a prone hole. Maybe not, but yeah, with that, she'll be able to detonate it, not only giving lines of sight, she has access that she'll be able to go in, but Roximo Killer will be able to get that first frag, eliminating Yala. The Vigil, who decides to do the roaming plays, decides to go for a gunfight against Roximo Killer. Won't be able to win that gunfight, but that impact grenade will be able to find the exact location of where Bandit is, but luckily he is still alive. Ace Salma Bridge being used, but he decides to use the Bandit trick. Will it work out? No, it doesn't. Zofia is still holding on towards that angle, and she will win that gunfight, eliminating Flying Death, making it a 3v5 situation. Sage Empire is not looking good on the early and mid rounds. They do have Montrosky with those smoke gas canisters. They do have the Maestro's evil eye cams to make sure that they would keep the attackers at bay. But when the walls are opened, all the attackers have to do is just use those smoke grenades so that they'll be able to conceal their location and hopefully go for that push. And Montrosky in a bit of a trouble, as one of the concussed grenades will be able to deteriorate him, but it doesn't work out well. Roximo Killer eliminating Montrosky with a flawless round coming in from Protest Esports, as they will win round 7 on second floor CCTV room. With a great impressive tactics coming in from Protest Esports. As we take a look at an ACT Fibernet instant replay, the Zofia making those plays, eliminating Vigil, using the impact nades to provide lines of sight to eliminate Bandit. Even though we did see, Bandit hoping to go for a trick, didn't work out well in his favor. As we proceed to round 8, We do see the site being on second floor CCTV room with Protest Esports being in lead. They need 2 more points to successfully win the map against Sage Empire. Will it happen, or we might be able to see a comeback coming in from the defenders? Shinigami using the 6 pick to shift from the Ash to the Jackal.
5-2 is the scoreline as Protest Esports continue to take round after round, ladies and gentlemen. It is no surprise right here that their first attacking round is a flawless victory. This is the same attack that we saw take Nevermind Esports on and completely shut them down as well. So, to be fair, not really too surprising when it comes to the fact that Protest Esports have a beautiful round one, a beautifully coordinated attack, knowing exactly what they need to do, which angles they need to watch, and how far they have to go to push Sage Empire to the breaking point. That has happened one round so far on the attack, and that's 2 rounds back-to-back that Sage Empire have won. Protest Esports, well done to them to take their first attack round. Can they keep it up? Knowing Sage Empire, they will see that and they will think, all right, we need to slow them down somehow, slow down their roll, give ourselves more audio and visual cues as Rux is at it again. There we go, little smiley face at the start of the round. Nice and beautiful as we will continue into the action phase. What I was actually trying to say in that situation is these barricades and the sheer number of them on the first floor lounge, that's going to give the defenders ample room to work with, ample amount of sound to work with. But here's a Jackal scan that the Vigil's going to have to work around inside of Garage. He's about to be spotted via the drone. His gadget was up, but shots are still fired as Yala will manage to fall down to Oil Pit to save his own life. He's got to be careful, though. There's a push coming in from Garage right behind him. He's holding on to the long angle through Blue into Arsenal for whatever reason. But he might change directions as Roximo Killer is going to find one. Electric goes down, and the Bandit trick has been shut down completely. And this time looks like through even less use of utility than it was in the last round. Only one impact grenade has gone out from Zophia's Arsenal. And that is very, very well done from Protest Esports. They have saved on utility where they need to, knowing that if they just get this execute done right, not even absolutely perfectly, just right and good enough, they don't need to waste a whole bunch of utility down here. More shots are being fired as Roximo actually is going to get refragged onto by Flying Death. The Maestro comes in to take a kill, and a big kill it is indeed as Yala. He is looking all over the place very quickly as Enrico is going to go down. Crosspoint takes that kill. That's a big drop as well as the AK-12 rings out to find the other GSU-9 operator in play. Shinigami is going to find Flying Death as well. That's another big drop as it's all down to Yala and Yala himself. Monchowski has fallen, and there he goes. Shinigami from out of nowhere is going to be the one to find that final kill. Beautifully done from the Jackal. Coming around from Garage to Red Stairs is going to be the one to find the last operators as Protest Esports are now on match point, winning round 8 and going into round 9, 6-2 up on the scoreboard. They are looking strong for yet another dominating victory.
Well, 1 more point for Protest Esports to seal the deal against Sage Empire. And although talking about Sage Empire's defense, we did see Electric playing as the Bandit twice and gets taken down. Although Kaid is still available, he could have just used the Kaid instead to use his Electrico to make sure that they won't be able to open it up. Or, I mean, I do realize that Yala is still making sure to get the control on stock, but with the attackers gaining control of the stock room, forcing the roamers to fall back on a particular position in which he won't be able to win in some of those particular gunfights. So match point for Protest Esports, the side being on Basement Church. We do see a 6-pick coming in, I believe from some of these specific operators. I'm not sure who. Just I accidentally blinked my eyes for a period of 2 to 3 seconds, and I just realized that I didn't get to see the 6-pick. Anyways, we do see Electric using his Valkyrie cams to on one near the kitchen to give good amount of information, and hopefully it is well hidden, but not hidden well when Shingami playing as the IQ will be able to detect all of those utilities and shouldn't have any problems to eliminate them. And with Electric finishing all of her reinforcements of a total of 3 hatches, she will now proceed to go downstairs from Basement Church, and with that accent phase will be in play with the attackers all spawned in from the warehouse. And Shingami already making an angle from the blue window. He might be able to see one, and he will get it. Shingami in an early frag, eliminating Edrico, in which he was trying to fall back to the blue room, but unfortunately, Shingami will be able to eliminate him with the G8 LMG angle grip and a holographic sight. He's just going to just drone it out, check where exactly the other four operators will be situated so that they'll be eliminated as best as possible. Quite surprising, we do see Electric with the deployable shield rather than using the C4. So that would give no one having the C4 in possession. Only the smokes gas canisters will be in play, in which I believe Sage Empire is thinking of reducing the aggression from Protest Esports rather than going with the time instead. Excaros pellets being used to open up the walls, actually from the hatches of the Moto, as we do see Crossfire already proceeding towards the main stairs with the help of Shingami, will be able to open up the basement church, a basement church wall. With that, Rux having the diffuser in hand, she'll be able to hold on the angle from the kitchen, trying to hoping that he would be able to find any particular players who is apparently holding in towards the Arsenal room. But with a lot of time being taken out and one of the players of Sage Empire being taken down, Electric will be taking quite a lot of damage, with Shingami able to get 2 kills with the G8 LMG. Triple kill for my man. He might be able to get the fourth. No, actually, he does not. With that only 20 bullets remaining, he needs to be careful of that reload, and that's where Electric will be able to catch him. But the instant refrag will be able to come in, gets the confirmation, downing the Valkyrie, which leads to the only operator, Yala, and he's going to go down from none other than Sexy K, the Buck. With the assault rifle, will be able to claim the win against Sage Empire, winning 7-2 on map Clubhouse. A dominating performance from Protest Esports. I've never get to see this coming there, Jack. With them, they have the higher chances of being promoted to Division 1, actually from Division 2. I'm quite excited to see what kind of plays that they have in this specific season.
Absolutely. Protest Esports are going to leave us on day 5 with another 7-2 victory in their name, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to put them up in second place, guaranteed, and maybe even in first place if the round conversion calculation goes their way, as they have just beaten Sage Empire 7-2, and Sage Empire themselves, they were already down at the bottom 3, and that is just going to put them down even farther in that list. Very unfortunate for Sage, but it just was not to be for them. They came to Division 3 with high hopes, but at the end of the day, some teams have to get relegated, and some will move on. And the teams that can stay in Division 3 are the ones that survive the longest, some would say, in that division. While promoted teams will see a better chance of fighting more and more higher level teams, and that is going to be what Protest Esports are going to be facing next season. It's pretty much confirmed at this point that Protest Esports will in fact be going into Division 2 alongside Vanquished Paradox and Exterminate Gaming. But then again, both VPG and Exterminate have more games, and Protest Esports still has one more game tomorrow, so things could still change, but some things are slowly being set in stone, being, hardened in concrete and whatever the other sayings are, as that is going to do it for the Clubhouse game. Just very shortly, we will, of course, go into Relive the Moment to talk about the highlights of this match, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do, there is still another game coming up right after this one. Tilt Esports versus Vanquished Paradox Gaming, a game that I'm pretty sure all of our viewers at home are very excited for. We're seeing VPG on stream here at the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for after quite a while. It's been a fairly long time since we've seen VPG live, and it should be a very, very interesting game indeed, as we're just waiting on the confirmation from our host that Relive the Moment is ready, but I don't think it is yet. So, regardless, Baba, it's a pretty interesting match that we had so far.
I mean,
right now.
Yes, Jack. With the Protest Esports, we did see them. I'm going to see it yet again. Protest Esports versus Nevermind Esports on Oregon in the first match. Quite a dominating performance from them, 7-1 on map Oregon, with Shinigami getting an ace in on attack. And then we did see another ace, and this time it was Rux with the alibi, the MX4 Storm getting the ace in the first round itself. Basement Church being the site. Their their performance is off the chart, to be honest. The first round it was Rux making a play. Next thing you know, it was round two. It was not Sexy K who was playing as the Valkyrie, getting a total of 4 kills. Two in which the attackers decide to just push in, and Valkyrie, all it needs just an MPX in hand, find the head of the specific attackers, and he just clicks it. 3 kills right from from the strip club room. And then he was about to get he was about to get a total of ace, but unfortunately that trade did not happen, with the thermite eliminating the Valkyrie. But Valkyrie did, however, instead eliminated the thermite, instead making it a 4K situation. So sorry, getting a 4K. I do have to apologize. Sometimes I'm just trying to mix a little bit of words there. But yeah, anyways, we just got confirmation that Relive is here. So we'll just head on back and show you the highlights on what exactly did get to witness on Sage Empire versus Protest Esports. Round one, Basement Church, as I was already talking about, Rux with a ace. Quite unexpected, but also a fantastic way to start off the match, to be honest. 5 kills with the MX4 Storm, a difficult one to make it as well. We did see one of the early kills been coming in from the attackers, I believe, and then in round three, when this was the round where in second floor gym, where Oximo Killer did wait for a total of 20 seconds for the attackers to push in, which they did, working out quite well, and then they just eliminated them one by one when the attackers started to execute. That was from Sage Empire. So the only round in which Sage Empire did one was on round 4. Basement Church, an incredible cross-angle push coming in from the attackers, did work out well, and then that was. And then we did see them winning again on second floor CCTV with the Ash. I believe that was Yala. Yep, that was Yala playing as the Ash. He did make sure that he'll be able to get those wins that he need, especially on round 4 and round 5. And out of nowhere, on round 6, we did see Roximo Killer with the shotgun and the SMG plays. They even had the control on the side. They had the smoke gas canisters. When the push came in, Enrico lost that gunfight to the smoke, whips out the shotgun and eliminates him, giving Protest Esports a total of 4-2. And then in the second half, it was just Protest Esports all the way. The attack coordination from the Sophia, eliminating the roamer as well as the bandit, who was trying to trick from the second floor CCTV. Not quite sure on what happened on Sage Empire's word on defense. Knowing that it could happen, at least they could have just played a waiting game, maybe use a mute jammer to make sure that they would take a lot of time to take out those specific utility, or use a Kai to trick it out, but it didn't quite work out well. And then we did get to see on the final round, Basement Church was the side for Sage Empire, and Shinigami was so quick on his feet, decided to rappel in, knew what kind of push that they would that they'll be able to get their weaknesses on, and they just immediately eliminated it with a total of 3 kills coming in from Shinigami with the G8 LMG. And with that, Protest Esports, a flawless victory, an almost flawless victory, as I were to say it, because 2 rounds did go in the favor of Sage Esports on attack, but on defense they couldn't handle Protest Esports' attack coordination.
Absolutely. Sage Empire, they tried their hardest, but it was not to be for them today, as Protest Esports are the ones to win Clubhouse 7-2. And with all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that has been one game in the second half. There is still another one coming up. Vanquished Paradox Gaming will be taking on Tilt Esports as soon as we come back. But, you know, it's an interesting game just in and of its own right. VPG, it was a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance that forced them to be down here in Division 3. Just a bad day, a couple of bad games here and there, and that's why they are down here in this division. But they will have a chance to go to Division 2, and we'll see whether or not they take that after we come back from the short break. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD Black, the Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Baba Gustav. With me, I have my co-caster and our admin, Foxy, and we are here for the second matchup, Vanquished Paradox versus Tilt Esports on map Oregon. What an interesting match that we did get to see in the previous matchup. A very dominating performance, as I do like to talk about it. Actually, yeah, it was 7-2. Sage Empire versus Protest Esports, a dominating win on a map Clubhouse. With the second match in play, we are going to be seeing some ban phase coming in from VPG versus Tilt Esports on map Oregon. The Thatcher and Nomad will be banned as we take a look at it as we come back. So, Foxy, with the first match being seen, Division 3 matchups is quite an exciting one, don't you think?
Hey, honestly, I think we're in for the best of the best matches today, and I think this is going to top it all off. A Vanquished Paradox. We've been expecting so much from them, and they've not exactly disappointed us, but they are there in the top three. They're just hanging in there, taking the sweet time. Maybe they will be up for the promotion stage as well, as we'll be proceeding with round one already. And let's take a quick look at the rosters. We've got Nostalgia, Mellow, Nexus, Ghosty, Dope Pope from the side of Vanquish Paradox. Alright, so finally I'll be getting to cast Ghosty today. Apart from that, we've got Kedatic, Smoke Dev, Killster, Igniter, and Exterminator from the side of Tilt Esports. A very nice and a very promising roster from both of these teams, but sadly, I see the contrast between their standings in the table. It just pains me to see that Tilt Esports not exactly having a great season, at least this time around. They look like they are on the verge of getting relegated, but obviously these play days are what will decide if they get relegated or not. That being said, we'll be up and running with round one. Baba, please take us through.
Well, Foxy, talking about the standings, we do see Tilt Esports on 8th position, almost being eliminated off of Division 3. And in Vanquish Paradox, they are currently in the 3rd place, having higher chances of being promoted to Division 2. So for Vanquish Paradox, all they have to do is to, make sure that they would keep that promotion, or else they would be stuck in Division 3 unless if they don't do something about it. We do have the next matches would be on tomorrow. Maybe we might be able to see some different standings coming in. But for now, let's focus on the match at hand. Action phase will be in play. We do see Exterminator playing as the Pulse will be he's going to reinforce it in a very late moment with the attackers already coming in, and also the Electroclaw is being placed in the meeting wall, which would give access for a total of 4 reinforced walls being electrified. With that, 2 of those reinforced walls will successfully been done, and all Vanquish Paradox needs to do is get into Big Tower. Hopefully won't be able to get a lot of gunfires being distributed from the opponents. We do see Ghosty already in the army trying to get up a fight against the Malusi, but he still wants to keep the momentum. He needs to pressure the teammates, so he needs to pressure Tilt Esports so that they'll be able to find a similar weakness. Ghosty now pushes towards the trophy room, where the guide might be able to have some information on where exactly Zophia's location is. Even with the default cam removed from the armory stairs, he still needs to be careful. There is one player, and that would be the Pulse, apparently in the meeting room. With the cardiac sensor, he's not going to be able to do much more. A lack of information would give the first frag to Van Paradox, following to Tilt Esports, making a good refrag. Eliminating Ghosty, who was apparently pushing in from the trophy room, will be able to get the early kill. With that, we do see Nostalgia using his breaching torch to make a half wall trick to open up the walls of the attic. Although Nostalgia is having a lot of problems dealing with it, which in fact gives a lot of damage to Nostalgia. Keep that in mind, the Electroclaw is right from the meeting halls. So all they have to do is take out those Electrico, making sure that they won't be able to take a lot of damage from that. Maverick, he needs to be careful around it because he's taking a lot of time. Smoke Dev almost gets the opportunity to eliminate Ying, but he won't be able to win it. Yes, he does now, eliminating Melo, but Dope Pope, on the other hand, will be able to eliminate Kickster. That is two important players. The Jaeger and the Pulse won't be available in the first round. Followed up with the same thing happening to Vanquished Paradox as the score has been equalized yet again, but things are starting to change as Ash will be able to down Smoke Dev with the Shadowine, with the SMG-11. He needs to make those plays. He needs to get at least 1 or 2 kills so that he'll be able to get the momentum up and running. 30 seconds left for Vanquished Paradox, and unfortunately it's going to be a lot of waiting time. Smoke Dev still downed, and the defender is mainly worried about the push coming in. Dopo will be able to confirm the kill, eliminating Smoke Dev, and also the Kaid goes down from second floor. Kids Dome, Nostalgia, he needs to find the last operator, and he will definitely do that. Vanquished Paradox winning round 1 on second floor Kids. As we take a look at an ACT Fabnet's instant replay, a really good use of the Electrocause, especially the Kaid, using it to electrify a total of 4 walls, 2 from the meeting room, 2 from the attic. Did worked out quite well, with the Maverick taking a lot of damage, but it was already opened, giving the attackers the access to push in and eliminate it. With that, Vanquished Paradox winning round 1. As we proceed to round 2, second floor Kids Dome is going to be the site, with Melo picking as the Ying. On the previous round, it did not quite work out well in the favor of Melo, because she was all by herself. She didn't had Zofia in which she was pressuring a lot on the side of Trophy Room. If Zofia was still alive and Ying was there to use her Candelas to go for a smoke followed up with a Candelas push plant, it would have worked out well. But we'll see what's going to happen on second round. Second floor Kids is going to be the side yet again, and we'll see if the tide favors on Tilt Esports. Well, second floor Kids is going to be the site, with VPG getting their first round of attack. We do see a similar set of operators being picked from both the teams. Although we do see Sadatic, aka Shadowine, will be playing as the Maestro instead. He was playing as the Mute. Those Mute Jammers did, however, provide some useful, denying utilities from the attackers, especially the drone works, as well as some of the breaching capabilities, maybe, especially if he did try to use his Mute Jammers from the second floor Kids. But the push happened from Vanquished Paradox, in which they did succeed, eliminating the entire team of Tilt Esports. Action phase will be in play. Vanquished Paradox in the lead. Round 2 will progress. We do see the Melusi's Banshee's deterrent, one being placed from the Drom's main hall, second from the White Stairs. Pretty quite standard, as I would like to call it. But we'll see how well Vanquished Paradox will be able to hold the Tilt Esports defense this time. With a lot of similar hold being made from the defenders, we do see 2 attackers. I believe that should be Nexus and Ghosty, who is apparently taking control of the big towers. Ace is already in, and he's just waiting to take out the utilities from the defenders, especially the Kaid's Electrocross. Exterminator will still yet again be playing on the meeting room and gets taken out yet again from Dope Pope. Pulse goes down, and the meeting room control goes to them. Meanwhile, we do see Jaeger in the kitchen. He won't be able to go for the refrag. He'll just hold an angle instead. He's just going to wait for the attackers to push in from the meeting hall so that he'll be able to get that element of surprise. Killster pushing in, doesn't have the exact amount of information, but he will get the headshot. Refragging to Dope Pope. The Ash won't be in play, but with that information being given, knowing that Killster is in kitchen, the attackers will be very cautious about it. With a lot of time being taken out, I believe the attic wall will be opened by now, and the attackers are slowly pushing in towards the armory, so that when they get control of the attic room, they'll be able to push in properly, so that when the execution comes, they'll be able to eliminate the entire team of Tilt Esports. Now, there is one attacker, and that would be Ghosty, who's trying to hunt down the Jaeger. With him, I believe he was at the main entrance, not having good amount of information, knowing that he would waste a lot of time. He'll just push in to open up the windows. As we do see Smoke Dev eliminating Melo yet again. The Candelas being thrown would provide a weakness for Melo, get the weakness from Melusi, eliminating him, with Nostalgia already entering in towards the attic. Just as I was talking about it, and just as I was afraid for Tilt Esports, the push comes in. A beautiful headshot from the Type 89 primary assault rifle. Nexus doing the same, eliminating Shadow Iron, remaining to 2 players left. Killster and Igniter we may be able to see some 2v3 conversions come in. What looks like it's not going to happen. One player remains, and that is Igniter in Kids Dome. He needs to worry about multiple angles. Beep beep. Here comes Van Paradox switching to gear 5, winning round 2, second floor Kids. My, let's see how well that they're going to be performing on round 3. 2 total attack rounds in favor of Vanquished Paradox, or as I would like to call it, Van Paradox. But let's see how well the distance goes according to mileage, according to the acceleration the way it takes, and maybe we might be able to see some drift coming in if they try to go a left or a right. But anyways, jokes aside, round 3 will be in play. Basement Laundry will be the site with Vanquished Paradox. They're not switching any gears now.
That is true. They've definitely put themselves up in a really good advantage, though. 2-0, and we might even see them go the full length. That is obviously 7-0. That would be a good advantage for them to stand on. At least how that could affect the rankings as well for them. So most definitely, as we take a quick look at the scoreboard, not very overly, I would say, overly inclined to a certain person. It's just very well spread out. So it only makes sense that, all right, it's still not come down to those very risky plays that we've seen Vanquished Paradox, or as Baba has now coined it, as Van Paradox, as the second vehicular term we've come across now. We've already got Fukushima Goat as the choo-choo train. So,
Yep.
well,
And I guess you almost. I do have to, interrupt you there, Foxy. But maybe we did forget one more. Remember Nat today?
No.
You don't?
That is. No, I meant vehicular ones, but no, that is still correct though.
Oh yeah,
Like
vehicular
no,
ones. But I mean, a pun's a pun, Foxy. So I just,
See,
I'm
now
just putting that on board.
We might just see now that it has a title to it. We might be, out looking for it. Like Sage Empire in the last match had Flying Death, so now you're gonna be like, oh, call him an airplane because Flying Death, I guess. But no, on jokes aside,
yeah, you got me.
Flying Death actually is a pilot IRL, but that is something else we'll be talking on another day. We've got the push coming in as Ghosty gets a frag and he gets refragged right back in from Killster. As Skidatic not exactly having a great day, trying to dispose of the Goyo shield right in front of him, but he'll finally do that. Melo making the push happen through the fire and all of that flames, but he knows that the reinforcement did come into place. He's got to wait for Nexus, who's still a little more emphasized on his drones. I don't blame.
Apologize for some technical issues being placed, but we are right back into the action phase. Vanquished Paradox 3-0. The site will be on Basement Laundry. We do see a fully fledged 5-man push coming in from the attackers as Dope Pope eliminates one. Here comes another 2 players on the boiler room taken down from Bopo. With that, the attackers will proceed to push to the side and hopefully be able to eliminate it. But looks like Smoke Dev, the Alda, will be able to try to make amends, eliminating Ghosty, but that pre-fire from Dopop will be able to deal a little bit of damage from the defenders, but hopefully he won't be able to find it just now. 2 players gone already on the side of Tilt Esports, and Vanquished Paradox still making sure that they'll be able to make some great plays here, using the SMG-11 to try to take out some of the Hibana Ciscaros pillars, but the Ash Breaching Charge will succeed, opening up the walls. Alright, the push comes in from Melo as he tries to push us in from the electrical with the help of Nexus, eliminating Igniter. Melo is already in the site. He needs to be careful, one on the freezer and one near the side, and Melo will take care of that situation. Nexus going for the plant out, and just like that, Vanquished Paradox will win round 4 on Basement Laundry. A wonderful plays that we do get to see from Vanquished Paradox as we proceed to round 5. 2 more rounds for Team Tilt Esports to hopefully be able to win a total of 2 rounds here. We do see VPG winning a total of 4 attack rounds in a row, especially on a map like Oregon. Good attack coordinations from them. But in round 5, let's see if they change. As we proceed to the side, second floor, Kids Dom will be the side. Unfortunately, we have to go for a rehost, I believe. Talking about the bans in hand, we do see a Thatcher, Nomad, Vamai, and a Mira being played. And Igniter, who is playing as the Caveira, but never mind. We are going to go for a rehost. Unfortunately, Sidadic, aka Shadowine, will be there to ask a rehost instead. Quite a lot of great performances coming in on the side of Vanquish Paradox. So hopefully we might be able to see some pure aggressive plays coming in on the side of Vanquish Paradox. Tilt Esports looks like they're a bit of out of place. I mean, most of the attack coordination that you do get to see, Vanquish Paradox, they are eliminating the roamers first, in which two of them already dead. One would be the roamer of the Vigil, the second would be Jaeger. The most thing was when the push came in from the attackers, Tilt Esports only had three players left. They had the C4s, they even had the Maestro, the Alda in hand. Even though they did get one or two kills in the process, they could not handle the push, especially Mello, who still is playing as the Ying for the past 4 rounds. It's been working well on his favor, even though Tilt Esports did, however, manage to find a proper weakness exactly when Ying was trying to throw her Candelas, and Melusi decides to push in at that moment when Ying was throwing the Candelas to give that weakness, hopefully to get those kills. It did work out twice. It did work out once in round one. It did work out twice in round two. And then round three, when they decided to defend on Basement Church and Laundry, that's where Ying started making to perform a lot of impressive plays, pushing in even though there was a shotgun playing very close to the electrical door. Mute did not, however, get the kill. With the push came in from the Mellow, eliminating the entire team of Tilt Esports. And with that, Vanquish Paradox, a total win of 4 rounds. We might be able to see a flawless first half, knowing for the fact that Tilt Esports, they haven't win either on second floor kids on Basement Church. Maybe going for a first floor dining or a first floor meeting room would be a bad idea for them, knowing for the fact that they did not win those main important rounds. So maybe the only thing that I can say for Tilt Esports is one. I do see in the prep phase where most of the time, actually in the action, in the beginning of the action phase, you do see Pulse reinforcing the second floor attic. So I don't want to be mean to them. It's just that if they are more quicker on reinforcements and making sure that they don't drop bodies in the early amounts of rounds, maybe we might be able to see some wonders coming in from Tilt Esports. And also the Pulse. I guess that was Exterminate who was playing as the Pulse. He needs to be careful on the push from the garage. Most of the time, you do see him using his cardiac sensors to only give informations on Big Tower, but he did not had any information on the main entrance, which would give the Ash and the Hibana a wonderful opportunity to just immediately push in and eliminate Pulse. Although on second round, we did get to see some little bit of the adaptations. You did see the Jaeger holding on towards the first floor kitchen, in which it did not work out quite well. There weren't any angles being placed, and also the Zofia was there with incredible aggression from Vanquish Paradox, eliminating the Pulse, and Jaeger didn't had any opportunities to eliminate it. So talking about the ban phase,
Yes.
you do see a Thatcher, Nomad, Vamai, and Mira. I mean, I do have to apologize to Foxy because I've been talking quite a lot about the matchup. But talking about the yeah, talking about the ban phase, Thatcher, Nomad, Vamai, and Mira will be banned. And talking about the round histories, 4 rounds goes to the favor of Vanquish Paradox. An incredible attack coordination that we do get to see, and especially on the side of defense. Yeah, talking about the ban phase, eliminating Nomad would give Tilt Esports an opportunity to maybe go for a run out, but most of the time you do see them going for a turtle hold rather than going for an extended roam. I only did see an extended roam on round two, and then other than that, it did not worked out quite well for Tilt Esports. Although I do worry about Tilt Esports because according to their standings, they are in eighth, winning one of the matches and losing a total of 4 matches, putting
Mhm.
them in the danger zone. And Vanquish Paradox, they are in third place, winning a total of 5 rounds and losing only one. That is quite an accomplishment for them because they are, according to the standings, they are in third place. And if they do, however, win against Tilt Esports, they have a higher chances of moving to second place in which Protest Esports is in. But maybe we might be able to see some slight changes in the next match, especially on tomorrow's matchup, where we do get to see the a total of 4 matches to get to know who will be promoted to Division 2 and who will be those three unfortunate teams who will be eliminated. But not to worry, season 2 registrations are still live. You can still be able to register it even if you guys are in solo or squads. All you have to do is go to the Esports Club official website. Link is in the description below. If you don't have a squad, no problem, we do accept solo registration. If you want to join in, make sure to make sure to register, and hopefully we might be able to cast some of your beautiful matches. Maybe who knows, you guys might be able to be the stars of the WD Black, the Esports Club Pro League.
That is so true. Get yourselves a nice chance to go pro in Rainbow Six Siege, in which is in fact an amazing esports, at least in our subcontinent. One of the best games out there, just in general. Even if you want to just get a hang of the game, enjoy it, it is definitely an amazing game. Speaking of an amazing game, which we have one lying ahead of ourselves, a 4-0 Vanquished Paradox, already taking that kind of advantage. I would say, even based off the response we got from the rest of the audience as well, it was in the favor of Vanquished Paradox. But Tilt Esports is yet to put up a fight. They're just not able to find that little window. Honestly, VP is not allowing them to think even for a while. They're just happening to stomping them all over. And yeah, that's just been it, the back and forth between both these teams. 4-0 though. But Baba, what's your bet? Will we see a cleanup? Is it going to be a flawless victory? Because they do happen to be very in contrasting positions of the season's standings, at least in Division 3.
I mean, talking about the matches, according to VPG, I'm not quite sure because most of the matches that we did cast against them was more of like a 7-3 or 7-4. Although most of the time there was overtime match points, especially on map like Clubhouse. But since the match being on map Oregon and Team Vanquish Paradox Gaming winning on a total of 4 attack rounds on map Oregon, which would give them in an advantageous spot, especially when the first half comes to an end. VPG, they will be on defense, and we did see how well they performed on the aggressive side. Who knows what kind of wonders that they'll do performing on the defense? Maybe we might be able to see a Tachanka pick, just like we did see on Division 1 matches, where QB, the Lord himself, as I would like to call it, making those unexpected plays against Battery P Sports, and that it was on the same map Oregon. And we might be able to see that from VPG. Who knows? Maybe not. But all in all, Tilt Esports, I have not given up on them. To be honest, I mean, the way how they progress, the way how the strategies that they did go through, we did see some wonderful performances on the qualifier phase. But right now in Division 3, they did, however, have some quite an unfortunate losses, and also winning one. They did, however, win one match, and it was also did streamed. I still don't remember which match was it, but I still get to see how well Tilt Esports have been performing till this date. We did see map clubbers where most of the time where they did went to overtime match point, but they did, however, lose some of those matches, putting them in a very very difficult spot. So hopefully with Tilt Esports, to be honest, I have not given up on them. I know I've been saying quite a lot, but these are the times where underdogs might come into play. Everyone likes an underdog story. Everyone likes to talk about a team who just went 0-6 and out of nowhere they just made 6-6 and put the match on overtime. It could happen. It can happen. The only problem is how is it going to happen is the biggest question here, because most of the time Tilt Esports, if they do have to make those kinds of comebacks, they have to make sure that they won't make a single mistake, in which Tilt Esports, they're already making it on defense. First round, 2 early kills. Second round, 2 early kills. Third round, basement church, the entire team of BPG starts to push from the blue bunker, and they Tilt Esports have no idea on what to do. They're not even getting control of the meeting hatch. They're not even getting control of any hatches. And they're straight up winning gunfights against Tilt Esports. VPG, they don't have any problems of those. Knowing that they don't have any roamers, even though that there was one particular player who was in which both of them were in the boiler room. And Ash was just like, yeah, two guys are in boiler, I'll just push in from the big tower and just eliminate both of them. He did exactly that. There was no defense, there was no control on the big tower control. Maybe if Tilt Esports do have to worry about those kinds of positioning that they come through, because especially on a game like Siege, and attack coordination wise, most of the times you do see a split push coming in, or maybe like three players who decide to push in from the blue room, two players would obviously push in from the big tower stage to get those beautiful angles, so that if the defenders try to rotate in a specific position, they'll get caught up, in which attackers get the opportunities to eliminate them. So most of the attack coordinations that we do get to see from PPG, they're doing exactly that. Although on round 3 and round 4 they were more of like a frag fest mania, thinking that look, we did however won two more rounds, maybe how about we go for a fully fledged on rush from the blue stairs, in which they did take some time, and then they just decided, what, I think we're just being way too greedy, how about we just go in, we just stick with the coordinated push instead, and they just decided to work out quite well.
Yeah, the good old rush strat, right? When nothing seems
Yep.
to work, a rush seems to work, and when a rush also doesn't seem to work, then I don't know what you do, because I at
I
that point I
mean,
just give up.
we did see some failed moments. I still
Yeah.
remember the CCTV rush from the Thermite. Not quite sure which team was it though, but man, did he just get the most best ace
Oh
from the
yes.
smoke using just the SMG 11? He only used one magazine of SMG 11. He used
Mhm.
a total of 2 to 3 shotgun shells, and he just gets an ace. He didn't even use any utilities. He didn't use anything. He just saw the push coming in from the attackers and be like, "Oh look, I just got an ace. Congratulations." I mean,
I
we
mean,
did see some
those are the
fails.
plays
Yeah.
we live for,
Hmm.
and no, most definitely, dude. I'll have to agree with you on that, Baba, because even if we go back to all the clips that season one has given us, we've had some amazing plays, and I'm sure the content team in the back end is really they're glad they have so much stuff to work around with, and bring us the best of it, that is. But speaking of which, we will be in this match in just a minute, people. As Baba, before we go into the match, any quick words on to what are we about to see?
Well, we might be able to see a 4-2 coming in the first half, and maybe we might be able to see Tilt Esports backing up on the second half. That's how I want to predict, even though there is a less amount of percentage being. There's knowing that BPG is very strong on attack, and maybe in defense we might be able to see. Yeah, maybe the other might say it would be a 7-0 flawless win, but hopefully we might see Tilt Esports performing well on the upcoming 2 rounds.
Well, that is for sure. We'll find that out in just a minute, people. As we'll be into the match. So bit as everything is accounted for, and yes, apparently it is. So let's get into the match, people. Round 5 will be underway, and that's going to be 4-0 in the favor of Vanquished Paradox.
Well, round 4, we do see them defending on second floor kids. The wait is over. We are finally back into the game with the 6 pick coming in from Exterminator as he decides to change from the Pulse to the Class. We do see Shadowine, aka Sedatic, playing as the Mute, as yet another 6 pick coming from Mellow, as the Ying will be shifted to the Ying. 100 IQ play coming in from Vanquish Paradox. But let's see how it's going to work out for them. 4-0, favoring on the side of Vanquish Paradox. A beautiful attack coordination coming in from them. Let's see if the attack phases from Vanquish Paradox will continue, or will Tilt Esports put a stop to it. We do see a lot of rotations coming in from the Mute with his shotguns, especially from the second floor kids. We do see Igniter finally awakened from his dream. He'll be able to reinforce, hopefully check out his keyboards to check whether if it's working or not. There you go. With all of them more focused on reinforcements, so Tilt Esports, they just need to keep their hopes up. They need to make sure that no matter how many losses that we do get, there is a chance that we'll be able to find a weakness against Vanquish Paradox's attack. Although most of the time they're winning in gunfights, maybe they can be able to find something in which Vanquish Paradox would be shocked. With that, action phase will be in play. The attackers are spawned maybe on the street side, so that they'll be able to open up the kids wall, maybe on the attic walls too. We do see a total of 2 hard breachers, the Hibana and the Ace, with the Excaros pellets and the breaching torch. I believe Maverick will be on the big tower, opening up the walls of the attic with Dope Pop with the support, making sure that there won't be any pushes or nasty pushes coming in from Tilt Esports. With that, I believe Nexus is already spawned on street, getting towards the second floor master bedroom so that he'll be able to open up the kid's bedroom instead. A lot of drone works coming in from Vanquished Paradox as they have to confirm what kind of locations that the defenders are onto. Maybe they have a room presence. Maybe they might have something else that they have. I mean that they technically change their strategies. We do see a a pre-fire shots coming in from the Hibana, knowing that the class is playing also very close on the armory stairs. Exterminator won't be able to take that much of a damage instead. Most probably it was just a pre-fire, but that information will be relayed from Tilt Esports saying that there is a heavy aggressive Zofia pushing in from the armory, but doesn't see the push coming in from master bedroom. Nexus will be able to eliminate one as quickly. Kills will be able to get one, but an instant refrag comes in from Mellow. A lot of bodies being dropped on both the sides, as we do see Shadowine with the SMG-11 getting the frag, eliminating Mellow, making it a 3v3 situation. Now Dope Up is already pushed in from the attic. They're getting good amount of the information with the drones as Dopo proceeds to push in, just waiting for the accident, and that accident will come to a conclusion, eliminating Igniter. Dopo he still needs to find 2 more. Sedatic, who was in the second floor kids, will relocate back to the dorm's wall. With that, it's going to be a moment and a half in which Vanquish Paradox decides to make a coordinated push. They're just waiting for their teammates to do their exact work. Dopo, with that prefast coming in, Smoke Dev will be able to compromise his location, but will he get to see the head of Ash? No, it does not. He is in a safe position with the repel coming in from Nostalgia, who's apparently in the windows of the second floor kids dorm. C4 comes in, he's prepped and ready. He's just waiting for that sound to come in. No, he's going to throw it very early, but Sadatic is going to find another one. Shadowine will be able to make a play as a triple kill from Shadowine as he eliminates Dope Pope. It all goes down to Nostalgia in a 15-second situation. He will apparently push in from the attic wall, but it's going to work. No, it does not. Shadowine, with a total of 4K, will be able to keep their team alive, winning round 5 on second floor kids. As we take a look at it in ACT Fibernet instant replay, with this one round, Tilt Esports might have a chance to go up against VPG in the first half. As we proceed to round 6, Basement Laundry is going to be the site, and with a good amount of refrags and a lot of gunshots being exchanged from both the teams, making it a 3v3 clutchable situation. And next thing you know, Shadow Iron just made it possible. As we proceed to round 6, Basement Laundry is going to be the side. 6 pick coming in from Exterminator as he keeps switching from the Goya to the Maestro, as Melo changes from the Ying to the Capital. I do have to talk about Exterminator though, because most of the time we do see him changing quite a lot of operators. In the first round, we do see him play as the Pulse. In the previous round, we do see him play as the Clash, and now Exterminator is going to be playing as the Goyo, hopefully to provide support instead of I don't know, it changing a lot of operators for the past 5 rounds will give a lot of problems for the defenders. Instead, a little bit of change from the strategies, but hopefully with that pick from Goyo, they may be able to salvage this one round. Keep that in mind. This is round 6, the final round for Tilt Esports on defense, but let's see how well that they're going to be defending this time.
Well, somebody definitely needs a WD Black SSD for sure, and yeah, hopefully he will be getting it because of the amazing plays that he's put up. Sedatic, that is, Kedatic, that is. The man taking a little time to load into the lobby, but hey, if he keeps up the plays like these, keeps dropping kills like those, he might as well win the MVP award for the Division 3, that is. And hey, that for the people who do not know, you get yourselves a WD Black SSD. So that out of the way, we've got ourselves the round 6 up and running, the last round before the role swap, and it's definitely going to be an interesting round 6 because now that Tilt Esports is back into the fight, they don't want to give up. They want to make sure they walk away with maximum rounds that they can, at least while they are on defense, and that's exactly what we'll be seeing them do. 4-1 is going to be the scoreline, and maybe, at least from the perspective of Tilt Esports, we are looking to make this into a 4-2, possibly walking into the second half of this match. That's the best outcome that Tilt Esports can obtain, because Vanquished Paradox has definitely done a great job shutting them down while they happen to be on attack, taking the advantage firsthand. So it's going to be fairly easier, even in the second half, for Vanquished Paradox to start off on defense on a map like Oregon. But Tilt Esports is not going down without a fight, and we are seeing them put that up. More than that, they are looking like they might be mounting a comeback here, maybe. Just like Baba Gusta happened to say, these are the moments where we get to see the best of the best comebacks, and who knows, Tilt Esports might bring one of them up. A 4-man emphasis from the blue bunkers. That's too much man count on a single doorway. Could be fatal if Tilt Esports decides to, pounce on them. But only time can tell us what will happen. The ash shots coming out so much. No, that's a gap. That was both. Sorry. Once again, I wish I had audio of the game. We've got the smoke canisters from the smoke himself. As from the defense, enough support for the Clash so that she does not get pushed up. But there comes so much utility dump on Igniter that he's got to fall back. Vanquished Paradox meanwhile will walk away with a kill, with a frag that is from Killster until he goes down himself by Nexus. An important frag. That's Dope Pope taken off the board, and that means your Ash won't be doing any more of the killing. So that Skidatic still holding this down. He's got the SMG-11 in hand. Still trying to help and aid his friend, his teammate Igniter, but here's the Goyo shield that's going to get popped, and that means he's gonna have to move back. Maybe Igniter will have to do the same as well. Here's a quick kills, a frenzy of kills, which will leave VPG in a 2 versus 3 all of a sudden. And what is Igniter even doing? Gives away his kill, but no, here's the refrag. That's the down man not out yet. Nostalgia is gonna finish him up anyway. Put his friend out of this misery. It's a 1 versus 1 before he picks up another frag. That was on the side of the defense. The reinforce comes in off of a really awkward position. 50 seconds left, and this is the place where Skidate has got to perform. He got the clutch last time around. Will he get the clutch this time around? No, he's speaking the wrong way. He does get spotted, but that'll be the kill for Nostalgia to take. A good close round for Tilt Esports to almost convert, but Nostalgia, very calm, very peaceful, got that clutch in for himself. That being said, we'll be taking a quick look at that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, as I happened to miss out quite the few words myself as I started to gain control of the situation. It was a very close movement. Maybe I thought Tilt Esports might be getting this and putting us on a 4-2, but right now it's just Vanquished Paradox taking us on a 5-1 scoreline.
Well, a great attempt from Tilt Esports, especially Shadowwine, who did all he could, eliminating the teams. He actually did go for the reinforce, but since he did, however, got caught from the drone and also on a 20-second time remaining, he decides to just push back instead. 6 pick coming in from Smoke Dev as he switches from the Ace to the Iana. All Vanquished Paradox needs to do is get a total of just 2 wins, 2 round wins, so that they'll be able to win against Tilt Esports on map Oregon. Since Vanquished Paradox, they will be the one on defense, and looks like the power of the beep beep will still be underway. We do see Nexus using the shotguns to make holes right on the top of the trophy to make sure that a C4 play will be in effect. If Tilt Esports decides to push in from the trophy room, the C4 will work out, hopefully, to eliminate them. But an early use of opening it out will be able to give Tilt Esports some kind of hint saying that they are prepped for the C4, so they need to be careful about that. We do see Nostalgia playing as the Goyo. He'll be able to place one of his Vulcan shields in the Dom's main hall and from the entrance towards the trophy room. As we proceed to the action phase, Tilt Esports are in a very difficult position, knowing that they're in a 5-1. They need to win a total of 4 rounds to hopefully get back in the game. We do see Ghosty with the Melusi, Dope Pope with the Valkyrie, the MPX, the Valkyrie cams, and also a C4, most probably, to use to work out in hand. I believe there's a total of two C4s on the hands of Vanquished Paradox. and to top it off with the smoke gas canisters to make sure the push from the attackers won't come out. And looks like the first frag already came in, and that's going to be Dope Pope eliminating Exterminator. The Maverick, quite important, an important operator when it comes to opening up the walls, won't be available. They do have Shadowine, who is playing as the Hibana. Those Exyrospellers will be able to open up at least one side of the wall, but she can only be able to make an angle to open up the addy. But looks like the Carnage is already in. Mellow eliminating Smoke Dev. Killstar on the other hand eliminating Mellow, and instant refang does come in from them. But will it happen with a man count already been decreased from Tilt Esports? Killstreak and Igniter decides to push in. The callouts will come in, knowing that the Banshee's deterrent will be able to detect exactly what kind of positionings that they're playing. C4 comes in from the Wang, a beautiful push, and oh my goodness, that was a beautiful deny coming in from Killster as he eliminates that C4 in midair. A wonderful play, saving the life of two people, but yet another C4 comes in. Unfortunately, won't be able to get the life of any teams of Tilt Esports. With a lot of times being wasted here on the side of the attackers, Killster still thinking of looking for an opportunity here, but he's going to lose that gunfight to the Goyo, who decides to push in from the white stairs, rotates back to the side with the Hibana successfully opening up the domes and gets taken down from the Melusi. 4v1 situation. Looks like a push, a heavy aggressive push comes in as Igniter is all by himself. The Mountain with the shield whips out the pistol, but Nostalgia will be there to get the headshot. Vanquished Paradox winning round 7 on second floor, kids, as they are on match point against Tilt Esports. As we take a look at ACT Fibernet's instant replay, what a great defense plays coming in from VPG, and also well played again from Tilt Esports. They're doing the best that they could, but it is not enough. They are not being careful of the aggressive plays coming in from either Mellow or I guess that was the Valkyrie, that was Dope Pope, who's been performing extraordinarily well as the fragger. With that match point, it is 6-1. Round 8 Basement Laundry is going to be the site. Will we see a 7-1, or we might see 6-2? Only time will tell.
Well, that is for sure. This could go to a 6-2 situation as well. Tilt Esports coming awfully close, but just not close enough. Vanquished Paradox will be shutting them down once again, and will be going to a 6-2-1 scoreline with them on the match point. Dope Pope has once again brought up the Jaeger, and this time the site is going to be Laundry, while we've got Ghosty on the Valkyrie, interestingly so. It's been a while since I've seen him play on this op, and alright, I didn't know you could throw your cam through that. Okay, you cannot apparently. Of course, he saw us looking at him and he twitched it. He's like, alright, I'm not showing my spot to you guys. Maybe, who knows? He's not omnipresent, he did not see that, I'm just kidding. It's just the fact that he could not throw it in, or he realized he cannot throw it in. Whatever, whichever it is. I myself do not know. Anyways, Mello has brought up the rook of all operators. Quite interestingly so, looks like he wants to employ a scope on this. I can only understand they're getting letting loose a little. 6-1 is a good scoreline to stand on, and you get yourselves to be a little flexible like this. Can bring out star operators like this. Although we know for a fact that a dock is a little more preferred in positions like these, but counting out Tilt Esports is going to be a mistake if Vanquished Paradox happens to make it. Let's see. Tilt Esports definitely will be looking for the revenge, will be looking to make this comeback. The match is not over yet, people. It's Kedatic already, the man who's been doing so much work for his team so far. Will this be the round where he happens to perform same way, or is he going to get shut down early? He's got the Montaigne Igniter, he's going to be his man drone, and they've actually got a literal drone as well. So that's a lot of information, and I would say resources employed on one person, but I can only understand why they are trying to bring that up. This time you won't be able to stop that C4 Skedatic. VPG will not fall to that same scheme again as they did last time. The C4 does connect to the Montaigne, and that was a good connect indeed. That does put Igniter in the grave, and that means Skedatic has found himself in a difficult position without intel on where to push, and he's gonna get taken down as well. The pre-fire that did come in from Mellow. That's the rook I was talking about. Taking those long-range gunfights is something that he'll be looking out to do, and he did exactly that. Exterminator and Killster will be quite surprisingly, so following up with the same push that the Montane and the Ash happened to go for. I thought they were on the other end of the map, and that's what kept them busy. If they were together, could have expected a 5-man push, but the long angle is being employed by 3 defenders, and he does not survive that, and it's a quick frenzy of kills, leaving only the Hibana. That Ghosty thinks he knows where he is, awfully close, but she is actually all the way on the back stairs. An almost flawless round and a 7-1 victory they're looking for, but no, the flawless round gets shut down, and that 7-1 victory is on a hold. That's because Exterminator is gonna get the first frag on his possible clutch. That won't be possible. Ghosty says no to that. He has other opinions about this. He says he wants to win this match on round 8, and he'll do exactly that. 7-1 is going to be the scoreline. Vanquished Paradox walk away with this match as well, people, and they'll be keeping their spot at least for the while in their standings on Division 3.
Well, 7-1 to VPG, a very dominating performance on both attack as well as on defense. They did not waste their time at all. They wanted to finish this match as soon as possible, and they did exactly that. Tilt Esports, although I do have to appreciate their efforts, especially Shadowine, with a total of 4 kills with the SMG-11, he tried to make it happen. He tried to make that comeback happen, but unfortunately, he had too much on his hands. He couldn't be able to get a total of he couldn't get the rounds back to the table again, and with that, Tilt Esports on a very unfortunate defeat, they will be on the bottom of the standings. Coming to Vanquish Paradox, they've been performing very well, especially I guess that was, yeah, it was Bob Pope, Nexus. They've been performing very well. Actually, the one who are performing very well was I just, yeah, I just cannot believe I just said very well for the, for a total of 3 times. But anyways, relive the moment is here, so we'll just go back and talk about the highlights of what exactly happened here. So as talking about the first round, VPG, for a total of 5 rounds, it was VPG all the way on the attack, with the Nostalgia, with the Heart Breacher. All of those heart beaches were doing their job perfectly well. They opened up the walls of the attic as well as on second floor kids. There were a lot of opportunities where it were most of them were of like a 1v3 or a 1v2 situation for Tilt Esports most of the rounds, because each and every round you do see Vanquish Paradox, they were eliminating players quite early in the round. Although we did see a lot of impressive plays coming in from Sedatic and Killster was playing as the Zofia on attack, and this time he was playing as you know the Melusi, I believe. Actually, no, he was playing as the Jaeger. He did get early picked out quite unfortunately. So round 5, it was yet again Tilt. Yeah, this was the round where Tilt Esports went. Round 5, where Shadowine got a total of 4 kills in total. A very impressive performance, and he was in yet again a clutchable situation, a 1v1 clutchable situation. But due to lack of information, he did not know exactly what positions they're in. Nostalgia got the drop and eliminates Shadowine performance. And with that, it was round 7. This was where Vanquish Paradox were on defense, and they're performing very well, eliminating a total of 4 players in the mid to early rounds, which leads to the Montaigne all by himself in the final round. He couldn't do anything much more about it. Their attacks was more of like it kind of felt like they lost hopes, but all in all, the performance on Tilt Esports, they can be improved. What I could say for Tilt Esports is to make sure that to at least rewatch the WODs, make sure what kind of mistakes that you guys are doing, so that you guys can be able to perform well in the next season. All in all, Vanquish Paradox, a dominating performance, and Tilt Esports, there is some room for them to improve.
Almost definitely, yeah. So that was quite the match we got to see. Vanquish Paradox and Tilt Esports, and the one before that as well. And I'm sure me and Blackjack had fun casting the XTM match. That was amazing. XTM versus Saw.
Yep.
So great rundown of the entire day that we had in terms of how Division 3 just happens to be in general. And hey, it's the weekend, and it's the best of R6 Esports for us to enjoy or for us to watch. So that being said, any closing thoughts, Baba Gusta, before we head out?
Well, I actually do want to talk about the total of 4 matches that we had. On the first stream, we had Protest Esports versus Nevermind Esports, 7-1 on map Oregon. We did see Shingami performing a wonderful ace. And round on the second match, this is the first stream I'm talking about. The second match, Exterminate Esports versus Saw Faith on map Coastline, 8-7. What a wonderful match that Foxy and Jack did get to cast. Followed up with the second stream. I guess it was Sage Empire versus Protest Esports. And yet again, Protest Esports, they never cease to amaze me, especially with especially with Singami making an ace. We did see an alibi ace coming in on the side of Protest Esports. That is a total of 2 aces being made in one single day, ladies and gentlemen. Total, it was a score line of 7-2, I believe. Yep, it was 7-2. Sage Empire only winning a total of 2 rounds in the first half on map Clubhouse. Unfortunately, couldn't handle Protest Esports' Protest Esports' kills. Most of the time, they were getting early kills and everything. And then the last match, Vanquished Paradox versus Tilt Esports, map being on Oregon, 7-1. With that, a lot of interesting match that we did get to see, and also Division 3 matches where we did get to witness an overtime match point. Although there were some matches that were quite disappointing from the play standard, especially on Division 3. But hopefully, in the next season, they can be able to perform well.
Well, that is that. And speaking of the next season, season 2 registrations are live, people. So make sure you head on there. You can get yourselves registered and be a part of this action. Be a part of the Pro League. That is the WD Black, the Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege. Make sure you check out the links in the description. That'll be it from me, Foxtrot, and Baba Gusta. And we'll see you guys tomorrow with Division 3. Once again, stay tuned.